Okay, beep beep, it's time to begin. All right, good morning. Welcome. So today's practice is a gentle yoga stretch, and I labeled it simple and easy. And so I hope to keep that in mind the whole entire time and create a practice that's just simple and easy for us to do. Always great to have a space available to have your practice every day or every time you want to practice. I kind of clear the living room space for my mat. You can probably see my kids' blocks over here. All right, so let's go ahead and begin on the ground. Get comfortable. Let's start with our feet flat on the mat and knock those knees together. So it's this sort of little scooting around or this lifting of the upper back. Use your elbows and then maybe tuck the tail, lift the hips, and just let the spine settle. Hands to belly perhaps. If that doesn't feel good to the shoulders, then take the hands out wide and see if that doesn't do the trick. Let's gently turn our head from side to side. And just begin to notice your breath. We're going to slow it down. We're going to ask that breath to come in lightly, slowly, with that background or with that depth of really filling the body. So a deep breath in. It doesn't have to be a large breath in, just a deep breath. Let's bring the head back to center. Let's straighten out the legs. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start to circle our ankles right here. So put some space between the legs and start to rotate your ankles. Reverse the direction. And then let's go ahead and flex our feet. So I want you to pull your toes towards your shin, push your heel away. So there's those two actions happening at the same time. Push and pull. Take a breath in. On an exhale, let's go ahead and point our toes forward. You can keep your toes separated. Just really elongate the line of the leg through the feet and toes. Take a breath in as you do flex the feet. And then point the toe or any version of pointing that you prefer. So flex and elongate. It's almost like bend and straighten, right? Bend and straighten. Let's do one more round. Now I just want you to move your toes. Crumple, crumple, crumple those toes. And then try to shake the legs. Now this is the entire leg, so you can use your heel down on the earth and just really shake those feet, flop those feet. Blah, 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 blah. Let your toes roll apart and let your legs rest all the way from the hips, from the belly down. You're going to pick up your hands, keep your elbows onto the earth, and you're just going to turn your wrists into circles. Almost mimicking what we did to the feet. This pattern will start just by circling or rotating the wrists. Reverse direction. And then what we're going to do is spread our fingers really wide. Take a breath in. On an exhale, pull your thumbs, pointer, middle, ring, and pinky fingers in and gently squeeze your hand into a fist, but push your elbows down into the earth. Inhale, open and spread the fingers. And exhale, curl those fingers in and squeeze, compress. One more time. Inhale, open. And exhale, squeeze, compress. Now go ahead and do that organic movement through the fingers like a spider trying to run away. And then give your hands that tambourine shake. Shake, 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 shake. Let's gather our legs a little closer together and lift the arms up and overhead. So we're going to extend our body line, reach into your tips. And on the exhale, I want your legs to relax, let your toes roll out, lift up your arms and lower them down by your sides. We're going to do this 3 times. Inhale, activate the legs all the way to those toes, reach forward, lift the arms, stretch back, and then exhale, full body relaxation. Do it again. Inhale, activate, and exhale, release. How about one more round? Let's do it. Inhale, grow long. And exhale. Good, let's pull our heels in towards our bottom. You can come up onto your toes, take your arms wider away from your sides, flip your palms to face up. And let's take the knees over. Today I'm going to start to the left, to the camera. You can roll your eyes to the right, and you can literally take your knees to whichever side you choose. We just turn the eyes in the opposite direction of those knees. Take some breaths. Notice how the spine, how the hips, how are they responding to the twist. And then on your next exhale, go ahead and bring your face to center. And how would you like to transition? I'm going to do an open knee transition. So my top knee starts to move to the other side. Finally, the bottom knee follows. Stay here. Switch your gaze to the opposite direction of your knees. Take a couple of breaths. Again, noticing the low back, the mid back, whatever. Right? If there's something talking to you, where is it in the body? As we get ready to pick up the piece, transitions are that important. So pick it, see how it works, and then know you can always change it as you move from side to side. You can change your mode of transition, your style of transition. Allow that beautiful breath to complement the movement. Find yourself syncing up with its pace. Let's go one more round. And then bring those knees back to center. I want you to plant your feet flat onto the earth. Put about 5 or 6 inches in between the legs. The arms are still out to the side walls. And we're going to do our arching and tucking of the tail. So we're going to arch the back first. So you could literally slip a hand underneath that mid back behind the solar plexus. And what you're going to do is you're going to pull your shoulder blades in towards the spinal column. And you're really going to emphasize this with muscles. So I really want you to activate and squeeze. Take a breath. Notice my hips are still on the earth. There's just a big arch in my back. On the exhale, I want you to soften your belly and then push down. So you have just very minimal tuck and tail. Don't lift the hips. And then broaden your shoulders. So reach your hands out to those side walls and give me a nice pressure down through the spinal column. So as inhale, shoulders come together, arch the back. And then exhale, open the upper back, push the spine into the earth. Keep going at your own pace. And I want you to take your awareness, not just to the spine, not just to the hips, but all throughout the torso. I want you to connect with these two very different, very opposing movements. They reflect in almost every yoga pose. So we need to know, we need to have a real good understanding and connection with how our spine responds and how we can adjust it when we're aware of what it's doing. Does it have tendencies that need to be adjusted? Last round. Take a moment just to soften the spine. Breathe in, breathe out. And we're going to bring the knees in towards the chest or towards the ribs, right? So what we're doing is putting a little space in between those legs, closing some of the distance between the legs and the torso, giving that low back a stretch, the glutes as well, and then adding that little shifting movement side to side. Whenever the body wants to initiate these movements on its own, feel free to go off my script and really attend yourself. Let's come back to center. We're going to cup the kneecaps or just grab behind the knees and straighten the elbows. From here, we're going to start to draw circles. With elbows straight, the circles should be rolling right on the lowest edge, even falling off the lowest edge of your sacrum, that bony low back plate. With your knees a little bit wider, notice how you can spread that massage to the outside edges of the sacrum. And if you slow it down and do some really big knee circles, you'll get a different area of massage. Take one more circle and then go ahead and pause, and let's reverse direction. So starting in the opposite direction, if you feel like going free flow, organic, let your body guide you. And if you're still a little bit like, I don't know what I should do, start from the beginning. Straighten the elbows, do those little circles at the lower edge of the sacrum. Then maybe broaden the space between the knees, take it to the outside edges. And then those bigger circles. When we attend these areas of the body, they do begin to communicate with us more, or we're just more aware of the communication that they have always been trying to send us. Let's come back to center. I'm going to place my right foot down and I'm going to bring my left knee into my chest. So I'm moving it off to the side a little bit of my body so that I don't feel that extreme pinching in the hip crease. Then I'm going to go ahead and take my knee out wide. Using my hand. Once my elbow is straight, if that's okay, take a breath or two. Maybe draw my right knee out to the right side, give it a little bit of balance, keep myself center on my mat, and just say hi to that upper groin area, wrapping around the top, right where the leg meets into the body. Then I'm going to bring the knee back to center, and I'm going to shoot my right foot forward. Probably should have done that to begin with. So right leg is out of the way, and now as I cross the midline of the body, I want to say hi to the outer hip, and I'm going to use a little movement. And when you feel those tight spots, take your knee and move it around in that area. And then take the knee back out wide, see what's there, bring it back through center to cross midline. Juice up that hip with some movement. To accomplish that fully, we want to really move our knee around. So don't follow the same lines all the time. Travel. Right, we can't travel outside our homes. That's probably such a sad word. That's probably a trigger word right now. Travel, sorry. No trigger words. So move your knee around. Leave it to me to use a trigger word, sorry. Ugh. All right, knee comes back to center, and now it's time for our strap. So let's unroll that strap, take it up to the top of the foot, give it a nice little rub. Wake up the foot. Rub off some dead skin. Oh, put it away from your face so it doesn't fall in your eyes. And then let's take that strap into the arch of the foot. As you hold on to the strap, we just want some tension. So either hands all the way up, elbows straight, or bring it all the way down. Try not to be in between. I'd have elbows all the way straight or elbows all the way down. Same amount of tension in the strap. And then from here, you're going to take a breath in. And not only are you going to take your mind's eye to the back of the leg, but you're also going to take it to the girdle of the hips, the length of the spine, the girdle of the shoulders, and the back of the head. So for a moment, as this knee is extended, as you're building this stretch or you are in this stretch, I want you to be aware of every part of your body that's touching the mat. Even your right leg, all the way down to your heel. And for a moment, I want you to just acknowledge your roots in your grounding. Is everything comfortable? Shoulders away from ears. So as we attend this leg, we don't want to put undue pressure or strain on any other part of the body. We are using our hands. We are using our forearms. But let's try to keep everything simple and easy. So we're stretching the back of the leg. We're not going to try to irritate or stimulate another part of the body. If your leg is requesting some movement, start that. I hope you guys have some fun music on. It feels so quiet in my house, and yet every single person is home. This house is full to the rim with people right now. But it's Sunday. They're in their rooms. Maybe there's still some sleeping happening. Seems so quiet. Start to get bold. If your leg really wants to move around and explore, let it. Put a little slack into the strap. Maybe place both straps into one hand. And go for it. You have all the space around you. Let's take a few more breaths here. You're blending that stretch from the very back line of the leg, wrapping it to the outer thigh, and wrapping it to the inner thigh. All right, we're going to take the straps into just the left hand if that's the leg you're doing. So same leg, same arm. Let's take that leg out to the left side of the room. Keep your back flat onto the earth. Go ahead and activate down your free right leg and send your right hand all the way off to the opposite side. And then if you feel yourself tipping over, that's when you need to probably stop, back up a little bit, and get square to your roots. I want your roots firmly into the earth. Use a little belly action if you need to. Hug it in. Settle the back of that right shoulder down. Take another breath. Can you put a little bend into that left knee? Bring the leg up to center. Take it back out and down. Bring the leg back up to center. Take it back out and down. A couple more rounds. I'm going to draw my elbow all the way to the earth now, and I'm going to sort of ghost hold those straps, which means I'm not really holding them at all, but I'm not going to let them bang around. I'm just going to hold the straps with a lot of slack. I'm going to let my leg do the work. I might not go out as far. And I can have some tricky hips, so I don't want to really cause any torquing, any discrepancies side to side. So I'm only going to go down to where my core is strong enough to bring that leg up without any noise happening in the hips. Next time the leg comes up to center, take the strap into your opposite hand. So for me, right hand, drop cross midline of body. As the leg goes all the way over, my left shoulder is left up in the air. So scoot head and shoulders over to the side where the foot is. Roll your eyes in the opposite direction of your foot and breathe. And just notice how the back of that shoulder might now be more calm, more connected to the mat. If space is limited, put a little bend in your knee. Adjust your eyes, look back to center, hug your belly in. Now put a really big bend in that knee and roll to the spine. Adjust your body line, get straight again. Let's bend the opposite leg. For me, it's my right one. I'm going to remove the strap and cross the ankle over the thigh. So we're going to go ahead and push on those thighs and offer that big arch. Remember, we did this in the beginning of class. We had that arch in the spine. Push. Do you feel any stretch happening? If you do not feel a stretch happening, and I want you to go for it. Go to your modification. Go to where you go. Trying to put some stretch into the butt cheek, where the piriformis muscle lives, where the sciatic nerve runs, down the backside of the leg. Little soft persuasion if you choose by moving, little rocking. Let's come back to center. Place the supporting foot down. Lift that left heel or whichever leg you were working on up into the sky, and then reach the foot forward. Lower it all the way down. Once it goes to the earth, I want you to relax the leg and just roll that inactive leg, that nice, heavy, loose leg from side to side. Let that foot flop. Can you cross your hands over your low ribs? Get your elbows comfortable and close your eyes. Take 2 breaths. Just notice how that leg feels. It's a great stretch, but it can also be pretty intense, believe it or not. It can be intense when we focus that much on the leg. Just notice how it feels. My leg can actually feel a little overstimulated. Tingling. Last breath. Open those eyes. Let's invite the opposite knee. So now we're going to work on the other side. For me, it's going to be my right leg. I'm bringing it in, and I'm going to take it in towards my ribs and slowly move it out to the side. I'm going to hang out there for a breath or two, or add a little movement if you feel no stretch. Find the place, find the magic. Bringing the leg back up to center, crossing the midline of body, and saying hi to the outer hip. Careful not to be jamming into the hip crease. So if you're feeling a pinching more towards midline of the body in the hip joint, we don't want to feel that. So take the knee farther away from the body, and that should release that pinch. It's actually a rubbing that's happening. We don't want that. We're trying to stretch muscles. Then when you're ready, you start to toggle, moving from midline to outside edge. Who's been playing board games? Anyone busting out some cards or some checkers, Scrabble, the game of life, Monopoly? I know there's a lot of new games out there. We don't have any of those really new games. Scrabble's been our favorite so far. I think we're starting to play it enough where the competitiveness is going, well, it's probably still there somewhat. But hopefully, right, we're learning to lose gracefully and to just enjoy that time spent together. Do you hear that plane? Or what is that, a helicopter? Totally a helicopter. Interesting, there he is. I see him. I can't tell. It looks all dark. I don't know if I can actually see the color. All right, let's bring that leg back to center. Let's grab the strap. Take it to the bottom of the foot. Push the foot up towards the ceiling and do your exfoliation of the sole of the foot. So rub, rub, rub. So granted, if you have a kitchen towel, that might not work so well, but you could just sort of explore the sole of the foot. I want just not placing that strap on and going. What we're also doing by rubbing is giving the leg some time to be straight without a lot of pressure on it, right? We're not putting the hands into full tension yet. It's a lovely way to say hi. As we find a home for the strap and choose, do we want our hands all the way up here? Do we want our elbows all the way down here? And then let's pay homage to our roots. So have a nice structured body line. You have your spinal column that can extend up to the crown of the head, and you can even extend that spine all the way down into your long free leg, all the way to the heel. And then you have a girdle across that's here at the hips and the shoulders. Find these things. Find these parts. And then there it is. Start to breathe into the tightness. Add the movement only when you're ready. When we put the emphasis into our roots, we don't just shift away from it the minute we stop thinking about it. Right? So hopefully you're carrying with you the roots. Like, I still feel my free long leg is still connected to the earth. I feel more presence in the calf and the heel, in the back of the hip. And then I carry that through, and this leg has more freedom to move because it's securely anchored and rooted into the earth. Awesome. And it doesn't matter if you do the same things that you did on the other side. Address this leg's concerns. Address what this leg needs. Might be different than the other leg. Couple more breaths. There's so many places to go. Let's not shortchange the second side. And then holding the straps, both of them, in the same arm as the leg. I want you to start to do that groin, that deep groin stretch. I'm going to extend my left arm and my left leg out and down, and as I slowly go to the right, I don't want to feel my left edge lifting. And if I do feel it lifting, that's when I'm going to stop and reaffirm my roots. into that groin. Breathe into the inner thigh. Let's go for one more breath. Then put a bend in the knee, just a little bit, bring it up to center. Back out and down. If you already feel comfortable putting that strap into a nice slack position and letting the leg and the core do the work, go for it. Otherwise, let your hand help. We're not just letting the leg lift itself up and down. We are allowing the rest of the body to support that movement, because we are all connected. Right? Our whole body's connected. Use that network. Find that success. Next time your leg comes up to center, grab it with the opposite hand. Go for a full body twist, keeping in mind the leg does not need to go all the way down to the earth. Midway down, I would put my elbow to the earth, get my shoulders and my head over to that side, and then extend. However you choose to do your twist. Send those breaths into the hips. Last one, last breath. Put a bend into the knee, turn your head back to center, bring the leg up to center, use your elbows, adjust, midline on mat. Opposite leg, foot to the earth, release the strap, cross it over, flex the foot, arch the back, sciatic stretch. Do you feel anything? I do actually. Just here, so I'm going to hang out here. You can go on. I'll probably go on in a second or two, but I'm going to just give it. I felt a stretch, so I'm like, oh, I'm going to stay here for a moment. It's awesome to have the routines. Routines can really help us through some blah time, right? If we have good routines, it can help us pull us through those days of want, which seem to be kind of colliding, right? Day after day, hard to remember what day it is at the moment. So it's good to have routines, but it's also good to be aware and digress from a routine on any given day. That doesn't mean don't do the routine, but be open to modifications, to adjustments. Maybe you've grown past something, or maybe we need to scale back on something. Just for that day. Last breath. I found this really interesting movement I'm doing right now that seems to really resonate with this leg, and I'm kind of drawing it's not really a circle and then a reverse circle. It's almost like a square circle, like the shape of an elongated capsule pill that you would take. And it just seems to be really targeted in on where I feel tightness and tension. That was lovely. Placing the free leg down, inhale, lift up that right heel if you're on that leg still, and reach forward, lower down. Hands, cross them over those low ribs. Send your log into a roll from side to side. Just a big heavy log rolling from side to side. Yeah, you thought you caught me with my my missed words, but I really meant log. Yep. Roll that log side to side. Right? Let the leg go into stillness. Close the eyes for a moment and just feel. How does the body feel after that? Soak it in. Marinate. Blink your eyes, offer your knees in towards your chest, put space in between those legs, give yourself a little light rocking from side to side. Think of it as like a carefree rocking side to side. Back to center. Plant your feet down about 5, 6, 7 inches apart. And I don't say that your fingers should touch your heels. I think that can put a lot of strain on your knees. If that's how you like to do it, if when you have your heels close enough for your fingers to touch and you have no pain in your knees, that's good, that's fine. I'm going to walk my heels a little farther forward. Point your toes forward as well. Try not to turn your toes out. I'm going to take my arms a little wider than my mat, flip my palms up. And now I like to do this upper back adjustment. So I just kind of scooch my shoulder blades in towards the spine, feel my skin bunch up a little bit, and now I know I'm ready for bridge pose. I want to float the hips up to the ceiling, so I'm not going to roll up one vertebra at a time. Push down strongly through the feet and start to lift the hips. As you float those hips up with your flat back, stay up here. Make sure the back of the neck feels relaxed and is long. Hopefully, right, you can push forward into your feet, not feel any pain in your knees. If you have pain in your knees, modify. Widen the space between the feet, walk the feet a little farther forward. Maybe it's don't push forward into the front of the feet. Take a breath in. On an exhale, roll down one vertebra at a time. And make it last a long time. Roll, roll, even where you think isn't that flexible or where there's the opposite curve. Roll, roll, that's your job right now. Roll it down. Be precise. When the hips come to the earth, take a big breath in and arch the back. Nice sweet breath of freedom. On the exhale, push through the feet and lift, almost with that arch in the back. Push, push, push. As the hips come all the way up to their highest point, push back, squeeze, lift. When you're ready, on an exhale, nice and slow. We really have to be able to distinguish what movement is good for us and what movement is not. So if you feel pain in the knees, that's not something you just get pushed through or get over. You adjust, go away from that pain and build the strength. I want you to free flow. I want you to do bridge. If you want to hang out at a top bridge and do chest expansion, that's you. You do you. That's what is one of the beautiful things about these home practices that I can, or that I would love to highlight, is that do you. You're at home. I can't see you. You can do whatever you want. Use it to your advantage. Connect with your body. If that's the only thing that you're doing during this time is connecting with yourself, awesome. Go one more time. I want you to take a moment, both hands to the belly, close the eyes, knock the knees together, and I want you to use these flushing, cleansing exhales. So you're going to inhale through the nose, open up your mouth, and let that breath rush out the lips. At the same time, visualizing it rushing out the knees. So it goes all the way down through the hips, the thighs. Knees into chest. Last time, little rock side to side. Great. Let's go ahead and change our positions. Time to come off of the spine. Blink your eyes. Either roll into fetal pose or my favorite, seemingly rock back and come on up. Getting ready for that seated pose. I love to sit up a little higher. If you've ordered your blocks from Amazon and you have them, use them. Get comfy. There's one thing that you can glean from me today is be comfortable. This class is called what did I call it? Simple and easy, right? Simple and easy. So if sitting cross-legged is not simple or easy, that's not how you're gonna sit. Make sure you listen to your body. Right, as we sit tall, we're gonna take our arms off to the side. Right, as we take a breath in, let's lift the shoulders and bring the head in. Squeeze it. On the exhale, drop those shoulders. We're gonna do this a couple of times. Inhale and exhale. Let's go again. Last time. It's making me burp. And let's lift and drop. Last time. Good. Hands to legs if that's comfortable. Tuck chin towards chest. And right now I am feeling like someone's kind of pushing their foot into the middle of my back. Ugh. I'm sort of sitting tall with a lot of effort. Right? This is how it feels sometimes to sit tall. But the shoulders are away from the ears. The chin is towards the chest. Right ear goes over to right shoulder. On the exhale, dip chin down in front and travel on. Back and forth you go. Let's do one more. Bring the chin back to chest. And as you blink your eyes open, now I'm going to kind of adjust the over effort I have in my spine. So you want to add an amount of ease that takes away the over effort without eliminating all of the effort. So what I did at first is I softened through the hips a little bit. I felt myself roll onto my sit bones a little bit more. And I'm probably still sitting pretty tall. So there's effort, but I backed it up maybe 15, 20%, enough to feel way more at ease, way more at ease. All right, from here, hands off to the side one more time, turn the palms away, and lift the arms about halfway up so that the hands are extending from the shoulders, palms are open. Go ahead and spread your fingers and reach out wide. Take a breath. On the exhale, can you pull just your shoulder blades together? Squeeze like your shoulder blades were just cinched together. Inhale, go wide, and exhale, cinch. We're going to do one more time. Inhale, grow wide, and exhale, cinch. Now you're going to bend the elbows. Take a breath in. As you do, elbows move behind your back a little bit, and the chin is going to lift, not all the way straight up, but just a little up. Inhale. And on the exhale, can you bring your forearms together and really round the spine, sink that chest wall back, bowing in, right? Inhale, open, lift. I want as much lift as a back bend. And exhale, bring the elbows together. Simple and easy. Inhale, open, and exhale. One more round, last round. Inhale, open, and exhale. Good. Can you point your fingers towards the front of your mat? And I want you to slide one hand farther forward than the other. Come back and switch. So opposite hand, slide. And I want you just to go back and forth. Last one. Let's go ahead and bring the hands down by our sides. Do a side bend, so right arm out to the side wall, left hand is down, and let's go to that left side. Stay here for a moment after I itch. Stay here, and I want you to push into your right hip. Push into your right ribs, and keep extending. So this is the push and pull almost. But what you're really doing is activating two opposite directions at one time. Pushing into your right side, reaching to the left. Bend that left elbow a little bit more, and then inhale, come all the way up. Light and easy, Sprinkle those fingers. Come down to the right hand. Get that stretch. Push into your left hip. Push into your left ribs. Reach to the right wall. Bend that right elbow. Woo! It's pretty deep, yeah? Breathe all the way out. On an inhale, light fingers up and over. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, up and over. Exhale, side bend. Last time. Coming back to center and uncrossing those ankles, bringing the feet in front of you. Take them a little bit wider. We're going to do some seated twists. Lean back, left hand, right hand crossing over. And then now I want you to really put the weight into your back palm so that the spine is definitely at a diagonal. Extend through the crown of the head and turn the head. Is it too hard to breathe? Back it up a little bit, or do that out and in, moving out of the pose and back into the pose at the pace of breath. Inhale, move out. Exhale, twist. Last time, little ringing action. How about this? As we come forward, there's lots of space, so let's just allow our body to go in between the knees. If you can get your knees to touch your shoulders and just allow your knees to rock that body. Little comforting movement side to side. Let's come back up to center and then to the right. Right hand back, left hand over, lean back, bend that elbow. Take a breath, elongate. Exhale, twist. Inhale, come out a little bit or a lot, and exhale, twist. Again. One more. Push yourself back up to center and bring the soles of feet together. So I'm going to leave my knee pillow here because I don't want my feet that close in. I'm actually going to use my knee pillow as a guide to keep my feet that far in front of me. And so my knee pillow is like about that big. Well, I should know. It's about 11 to 12 inches. If you guys have your sewing machine out, busting out masks, face masks, you can always make yourself a knee pillow. Okay. So here we are. What we're going to do is we're going to stretch the spine just like we did in the twist. Head and heart lift up. Grab a hold of the ankles and try not to lose that extension. So head and heart lift up. And now I need you to do your hips into pelvic tilt. Use some strength of your arms. Bend your elbows by pulling. Almost feel like you're pulling your lowest ribs forward. And when you get to that space where it feels tight, add the side to side. Is someone just joining right now? I can't, the camera's so far away, but I just saw something pop up. Hi, new person. Right, if it feels good, take it a little bit more, sway from side to side. And notice if you're not getting a little bit more, fold. Now let's keep in mind, if you can't look forward in your fold, someone said something. If you can't look forward in your fold, you're probably rounding your back. So your head might have moved closer to your feet, but your spine was rounded. We don't really want a round spine. There is no goal. There is no goal to getting the face to kiss those toes. Mine are pretty dirty. Look at that dirty spot right there. Woo! Dirty. My big toes are dirty. Ugh. Take another breath. Definitely don't want to kiss those things. Let's come back to center, hands push into those feet and give yourself back up to seated. All right, let's go ahead and change our position again. Let's take it into a child's pose. Adjust, adjust. Wide through those knees, big toes touching, hips either stay lifted or they go back and down. Sway those hips from side to side. Well, we can say hi to my neighbor right now who's mowing his yard. Nice little additional sound in this yoga practice today, the sound of a lawnmower. All right, are we swaying from side to side? Are we staying center? I think I'm gonna have to close my door window. Oh boy. All right, hopefully that's a little softer. Let's go ahead and take it into tabletop pose. As we find our tabletop pose, use your hands or your elbows. Extend your toes back behind you, take a breath in. And what I want you to feel like a flat tabletop, pulling your shoulders back, extending the flat part of your head forward. That's your breath in. On an exhale, you are retreating to child's pose. Put your elbows down. Inhale, flat back, tabletop. Exhale, push back. We're only going to do this a couple of times. Inhale, flat back, and exhale, come here. Walk your hands farther forward. One handprint forward. Inhale, pull that heart, flat back, guide your shoulders over your wrists, and exhale, retreat. Elbows down. Inhale, flat back, elbows down. Do it again. Inhale, exhale. Walk your hands farther forward. Even lift your hips. There's a space between your ankle, your heel, and your butt. Here we are. So we have this nice stretch going on in the armpits. Inhale, come forward, flat back. Heart draws forward, shoulders pinch back. Hug that belly in. Exhale, stretch. Inhale. So important where your eyes are looking, the position of your neck. Your eyes do absolutely change the position of your neck. Look straight down. Keep your neck neutral. One more. Here you go. Can you bend your elbows and bring your belly, your chest to the earth? I want you to press down through the top of the feet, activate your knees, do a big backward shoulder loop, pinch your elbows in, and lift up the heart. And you lift the chin just to get out of the way of the heart, but not overly so. And then pull back on the hands. Take a breath. On an exhale, soften. Do that activation again. Start with the feet. Press the feet. Squeeze the knees. Do a big backward shoulder loop. Lift. Add it all together. Connect head to toe. And exhale. Relax. One more time. And let's go ahead and rest. Diamond shape your arms. Turn your head to one side of the room. Whoosh. It's like a deflating balloon. Whoosh. Pick up the head, move it in the opposite direction, and whoosh. Head comes to center. Hands are going to go underneath. Actually, frame the upper chest. Pinch your elbows in, pull the hands back. Let's widen the stance between the knees. And then when you lift your feet up, I want you to hollow your belly. So this is going to feel a little weird. Pull your hands back, a little bit of an over tuck in the chin. Hollow the belly. Reach back. Now my feet have moved a lot closer, but they're not on the ground. And if your feet go to the ground, don't worry about it. Really tuck that tail, squeeze. Now use more hands. Pull, pull, pull. Take another breath. And exhale, let it go, relax, whoosh, deflate that balloon. Empty the body of breath. Pick up the head and switch. Head is back to center. Hands are going to go farther back by lower ribs, and you're going to pinch your elbows in, and you're going to lift yourself off of the earth to your knees. Once you're here, tuck those toes, lift those hips, push into your hands to lift your hips up higher, and then pedal out. Push one heel to the earth. Hang the head, look back. Where is it tight? Is it the calves? You want to stretch into the hips a little bit. Well, let's look forward for a moment. Get your fingers to part, to spread them wide. Make sure your hands are not too close to your feet. Your heels do not need to touch the ground. We want to pull those shoulders up towards those hips. Guide the ears between the upper arms. Put a bend in the knee. Pick up the hips really high. And on the exhale, push the heels down. Inhale, lift. Your back should look kind of like a ski slope. And exhale. If anything, just a nice flat line. Inhale, lift up. And exhale. Eyes are looking towards eyebrows. One more time. Put some bend in the knee. Take a step forward. Claw your fingers. As your feet come to the front of your mat, I'm going to stop in the middle of my mat. It doesn't matter where you stop. Maybe closer to your blocks is good. I want you to do what I call a chair. Your legs are in chair. Your upper body's in ragdoll. Hang it. And use blocks if your hands don't touch the ground. Stay here for a moment. Find this seal. This nice seal of belly to thigh. When you're ready, keep your knees in this really bent position and roll up one vertebra at a time. As we come all the way up to standing, you do these backward shoulder loops. Adjust your clothing. And then we're going to just shake out our limbs. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Time flies, right? Oh, let's do some hip circles. Just a little bit of free form movement here. You want to bend your knees and get all sussy. You want to reverse direction right away. Go ahead. You want to do a chest expansion while you're doing hip circles. It's a free country. All right. So I started this video a little early. So when you watch it, when people are watching it live, if you didn't catch the beginning, the first couple of minutes, I just tried to leave it open so that people would see the notifications quicker. If you guys have any feedback as well for me, I'd appreciate it. Again, this format is new for me. The live, the Facebook. I am trying to put these on YouTube as well. I haven't been doing it lately, and sometimes it takes about 45 minutes to upload something to YouTube. But I do have a channel now on YouTube. I'm just trying to put all these classes on there if that's easier to find them. Eventually, hopefully, to get all of them on Facebook. All right, we don't have much time left, but what we want to do is get our feet to be about hips width apart, hands to heart center. Nice. Take a moment to close the eyes, if okay, to close the eyes, and really find yourself connecting your feet to your legs to your hips to your spine to your shoulders, shoulders to arms, go up to neck, up to head. It's that nice elongation, that nice little pull. Pretend there's a thread and it's just lifting up to the highest star. Blink your eyes open, lift your hands all the way up. On an exhale, let's go for a swan dive. Graceful, simple, easy. Find a half lift. Inhale. Flat back. Fingers hovering right in front of the knees. And exhale. Reverse your swan dive. Send your arms out to the sidewalls. Put a bend in the knee. Lift from the heart center. Lead with the heart. Palms are going to touch and lower all the way down. Do it again. Inhale, lift. Exhale, swan dive. Find that half lift. Go for the hug. Reverse swan dive. Rise. Place those hands in front of heart. Let's go for one more round. Make it your best round yet. Reverse that swan dive. Come all the way up. Palms together in front of heart center. Finding our groove. Right? Remember that movie a long time ago, Stella Got Her Groove Back, or Stella's Groove? Right, we're trying to make our way through these uncertain times, through these sort of seemingly, right, housebound times. I wish you joy. I wish you love. I wish you patience and kindness, right, to other people, to yourself. I have my days. There's so much benefit to being home and getting things done, but at the same time, I got in the car the other day, and I think we drove over H3, and I was like, whoa. I mean, it was wow, it's weird to feel so disconnected from places that you would normally go to a lot. Patience, kindness, make it simple, make it easy. Thank you for joining me today. I miss you all. Namaste. If there's other things you'd like to do, keep going. Class is over, but you can keep going.